Hi guys, in this video we are looking into the new Honda ST125 DAX and the available upgrades at the moment. The new ST125 DAX is produced in Bangkok, Thailand, and has been released a few days ago in Europe, Thailand, and Japan. The release of the new 125 DAX came unexpected, since there was a lot of talking about it in the past years basically, but nobody was really sure if it would happen. The price tag is also something which came unexpected, at least in Thailand, which is 84,900 Thai baht for the stock bike at Cub House in Thailand, which is 20% less as the Z125 Monkey, or about the price from a Honda Navi in the US.
That's correct. And this exciting news came to us recently with an official release at the 14th of March 2022.
Do you think Honda will release the DAX in the US?
Hard to say anything about that at the moment. American Honda didn't announce it yet, but I'm sure we will get an update about that very soon.
Does the new 125 DAX has a specific Honda code, such as the AB23, which was the formal generation 12-volt CDI bikes?
The full official name is 23YM, Honda ST125 DAX. It seems that Honda wants to keep a reference to the previous generation by using the number 23 in the code. It's nice anyway to see Honda releasing the ST125 DAX, because after a 23 years absence in Europe, the new ST125 DAX now joins the Monkey and MSX 125 Grom, and makes the Honda mini bike lineup complete.
Do you think they will add a Gorilla 125, ZB 125, or even a Charlie 125 to the lineup?
Well, I think that we all would be very amazed if Honda would do so let's say we are not expecting that. For now we have to say that Honda did a good job on remaining the authenticity for this new modern classic, which is based on the formal Japanese 12 volts ST50S model. This Japanese model was enjoying an 8-year production run, and the ST50 DAX finally went off sale in 2003. If we take a look to the specifications, then we see that the engine has the same bore and stroke as the 5-speed Z125 Monkey. If we compare both engines, then we see obviously that the colors are different. The crankcases are black now, such as the Honda Nice 110 engines. The cylinder block is still silver, but for some reason Honda thought it would be a good idea to paint the cylinder head black. It looks actually like a blend between a Grom and a Monkey engine. If we take a look to the performance and to the horsepower of the 125 DAX, then we see that it's producing the same horsepower as the 125 Monkey, which is 9.25 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs or 6.9 kilowatt, and this is actually slightly less compared to the 125 Super Cub and 125 Grom, which are both producing 9.66 horsepower at 7,500 RPM or 7.2 kilowatt. So the new 125 DAX makes a 0.41 horsepower less than the Honda Grom 125. If we look to the torque, then we see strangely enough a totally different story compared to the horsepower. The new 125 DAX makes the same torque as the Monkey 125, which is 10.8 nanometers, or 7.96 pounds per FT of torque at 5,000 RPM. This is strangely enough more torque now compared to the Super Cub 125 and 125 Grom, which are producing both only 10.4 nanometers, or 7.67 pounds per FT of torque at 6,250 RPM. So the story is that the new 125 DAX makes 0.41 less horsepower and 0.4 nanometers or 0.29 pounds per FT of torque compared to the 125 Honda Grom. The heel-toe gear shifter on the new 125 and the semi-automatic clutch is again in true tradition with the formal generations ST DAX and CT70s, with of course no clutch lever installed. And if you are a die-hard who wants to drive in the wintertime, then heated hand grips are optionally available. The 4-speed gearbox is unexpected, certainly because Honda released the recent Monkeys and Groms with the 5-speed gearbox and the Euro 5 engines. A 4-speed gearbox reminds us on the CT70H, but this one had a manual clutch installed.
It's also nice, I have to say, to see Honda using details based on the old DAX, such as using the warning stickers at the same location as the DAX 50 and 70 had before. We see that many people have a specific opinion about the air filter, how it looks like, and that it's styled based on the old ST90 in the US. We totally can see where this is coming from, and it's really easy, as you can see, to use your key to open it. We are just not so sure if this is what you had in mind when you were talking about an air filter box. But it's anyway very easy to reach your ECU, as you can see, and Yamanashi will work already to install Powersport's ECU out for this bike and an oil cooler as well, since these Euro 5 engines tend to run hot very easy, so cooling them down is really key to avoid damage and to get the most power out of them.
Yamanashi already has a 140cc big bore kit available for these Euro 5 engines, and a wide flow range of fuel injectors to be installed on these big bore kits. The backbone frame pulls double duty, serving as the chassis and housing the 1-gallon fuel tank, which is 3.8 liter. That's a huge step up compared to the earlier 0.66 gallon or 2.5 liter tank, but still a tiny tank. At a claimed curb weight of 240 pounds or 170 kilograms, the ST125 DAX is relatively porky compared to the Monkey, which claims 231 pounds with a full 1.5 gallon or 5.7 liter tank. Still, Honda claims the DAX can reach nearly 150 miles on that single gallon of gas, which is 63.7 km on a liter, or a fuel consumption of 1.57 liter on 100 kilometers. I think that we can conclude that this is a worthy successor to the previous 12-volt CDI generation, and I'm glad Honda opted for the 4-speed instead of their new 5-speed, because you have to install a 1341 sprocket combination on that one, at least if you still want to continue building up speed when shifted to 5th gear.
Well, we will have some good fun with that bike, that's for sure. But how are we on the tuning upgrades? Is there anything worked out so far? Because I must say that I do miss the knobby tires, chrome fenders, and if there is a high front fender available, then this would be the first upgrade I personally would do.
In that case, there's good news, because our colleagues didn't sit still if it comes to upgrade parts. There's a lot worked out so far. There are also good alternatives available in the Bridgestone Trail Wing tire style, which is the stock tire installed on the old 6-volt bikes. So let's take a look to what's available for the new 125s.
I think you can agree with us that it's great to see that these different brands like Honda H2C, Kitako, Takugawa, G-Craft and others have worked out these different body upgrades out so far. But can you also give us some background information on Yamanashi, and how it's related to the Mini 4-stroke engine tuning scene?
Well, certainly, Grace, and it's easy to say that the driving force behind Yamanashi in the field of Mini 4-stroke tuning is our CEO Mr. Reggie Baden, who bought his first ST50 DAX exactly 40 years ago, and started right away with engine tuning based on the ST70 and 5-speed Honda SS50 engines. He was the one who introduced the Mini 4-stroke Takugawa, Kitako and Daytona parts into Belgium and the Netherlands, and he was also the first official importer of the Takugawa brand for the Benelux countries. His very well-known red ST50 DAX was the first DAX in Belgium and the Netherlands who had these tuning parts installed. Our CEO was also the founder and CEO from the Mini 4-stroke Artisan Racing Company, and founder-president of the Ghent DAX Association, DAX Owners Group and co-founder of the Belgian DAX Federation. At this moment, Yamanashi is pushing hard on the electronics, working new ECUs out, fuel injectors, manifolds, big bore kits, camshafts, big valve heads and engine swap kits for the Mini 4-stroke tuning scene, and much more.
Thanks, Andrew, for giving some background information on this. and we at Yamanashi continue to push the boundaries in Mini 4-stroke tuning. We hope you enjoyed this ST125 DAX introductory video. And we end with personally recorded footage of our CEO as club president during one of the most important annual gathering in Belgium a few years ago. Thanks again for watching, and we are glad to be at your service.